Bitcoin changed my life, but what I'm about to show you now could change yours. Right now, a multi-trillion-dollar AI sector is about to explode, and you can get in on the ground floor. Now stop and ask yourself, when was the last time you could spot a market shift before it changed the world? Seriously, what I'm about to show you is the kind of asymmetric opportunity that almost no one is positioned for, except for maybe the world's top VCs, and after today, maybe you. I haven't felt this much raw upside, this sense of we are here first, since the first time I bought Bitcoin back in 2013. But this time, the wave is even bigger. Humanoid robots are stepping out of the lab into the real world right now. Mass adoption is kicking off sooner than anyone expected. This is the moment where machines that think, move, and learn are becoming part of everyday life. Goldman Sachs projected humanoid robots could be a $38 billion market by 2035. But in my opinion, that number is small. And in a few moments, you'll understand why. The smartest capital in tech, ARK Invest, Xmaquina, and Nvidia's own Jensen Huang say we're not talking billions, but trillions. This is bigger than the first wave of AI, and it's scaling up even faster than anyone expected. The reason? The global labor market is a $30 trillion machine. If robots and physical AI automate even 10% of that, that's $3 trillion a year, over and over again. This is what is at stake. Yet, almost nobody's positioned to capture it. This market, by design, has kept regular investors locked out. VCs, hedge funds, and big tech are circling. But unless you know exactly where to look, you're on the sidelines. Today, that changes. In this episode, I'll show you precisely where to look for the most direct, early exposure to this tidal wave, at the very front of the innovation curve, ahead of the funds, ahead of the public markets, ahead of the news cycle. So guys, let's dive in. Now, you might be thinking, Kyle, is this just another hype cycle? So let's get out of the echo chamber for a second. Let's listen to what people actually building and funding this revolution are saying, because sometimes the loudest clues come from those who have the most skin in the game. First, check out what Elon Musk has been repeating over and over again in public.
I think humanoid robots will be the biggest product ever. The demand will be insatiable.
You've said that.
Everyone's going to want one. It's like, basically, who wouldn't want their own personal C-3PO R2-D2?
No,
everyone's
right. You've said that, and your goal. You've also said is to produce 1 million robots. I think by 2030. That's what I had you on the record as saying.
I think that's a reasonable target.
And he's not alone. Mark Andreessen, maybe the most legendary tech investor of the last 20 years, puts it even more bluntly.
What's going to happen, you've all probably seen, Elon has this Optimus robot that he's building, these humanoid robots, like the general purpose robotics thing is going to happen, and it's going to happen in the next decade, and it's going to happen at giant scale. And I think there's a plausible argument, which Elon also believes, that robotics is going to be the biggest industry in the history of the planet.
And now, the tech that powers it all, Jensen Huang, the founder and CEO of Nvidia, whose chips are in literally every breakthrough AI system, said this.
And then number 3, humanoid robots. If we have the technology to solve these 3, this will be the largest technology industry the world's ever seen. And so we think that the robotics era is just around the corner.
This sort of conviction you only hear when something huge is already underway. These are full conviction bets from people who know how to spot the next big wave. The same people who called the smartphone wave, who backed the internet, and who built the AI explosion we've just lived through. Now they're all in on robotics, and they're saying this is bigger than anything we've ever seen. And if you're looking for a why, remember, the global labor market is a $30 trillion prize. That's why the best minds in tech, capital, and AI are converging right here, right now. But here's where it gets frustrating, and even where most people miss the boat. Even when they see the opportunity, you think, with all this capital, talent, and real-world momentum, it would be as easy as buying a stock or an ETF. But the truth is, the biggest moves in robotics and physical AI are still happening behind closed doors in the primary markets. Let's keep it real. Unlike Bitcoin in 2013, not just anyone with an internet connection can get in. In fact, the situation today looks a lot more like AI did in 2018, when all the real wealth creation was happening in private rounds, exclusive funds, and VC circles. Look at the so-called ways to invest right now. You've got pre-IPO rounds, usually completely invite only. You need to be an insider or an accredited investor, or just lucky enough to get an allocation from someone in the old boys club. And you've got public stocks, nearly impossible if you want pure early exposure. UBTech is one of the only humanoid robotics pure plays, and it's listed in Hong Kong, not the US. Everything else, Tesla, Nvidia, Hyundai, Meta, it's just a fraction of the much bigger, less focused business. ETFs and funds, forget about it. They might hold a bit of exposure to automation, but nothing truly targeted at the coming explosion in physical AI. So let's be blunt. Unless you're a connected VC, a billionaire, or deep inside the institutional world, you're locked out. The market is designed that way. By the time mainstream products are available, most of the real upside will have been captured by those who got in first. But that's why today matters, because you don't have to wait for Wall Street's leftovers. There's a new path opening up, and it's being built on crypto rails. But here's what most people haven't realized yet. DEPI, decentralized physical AI, is quietly changing who gets to profit from this new wave of disruptive technology. DEPI is a new framework that uses crypto and blockchain to unlock access to the physical AI revolution. With DEPI, anyone in the world can participate in the upside of real robots, real data networks, and real-world AI infrastructure. You're probably wondering, how does this work? For years, only VCs and hedge funds could access opportunities like this. Now, DEPI is giving the first mover advantage to everyone willing to step in early and take action. Instead of needing to buy private shares or wait for some distant IPO, you can join a DAO, hold DEPI tokens, or vote on chain. That's how real DEPI projects are now letting regular people co-own a piece of the next robotics giants, get a share of the data economy, or even govern where and how the network grows. Your exposure is liquid, transparent, and global. Anyone can join instantly, open participation for anyone, anywhere, with no hoops to jump through. So if you missed the first wave of AI or crypto, now is the moment to pay attention. But as with every hot trend in crypto, you have to stay sharp. Right now, 90% of what calls itself DEPI is just vaporware. It's projects with no hardware, no real data, and nothing but a white paper and a Telegram group. Maybe, if you're lucky, a white paper. So here's the rule. If a project says they're building DEPI, ask them, where's the product? Where's the hardware? Where's the live integration? If all they can show is a nice landing page, it's probably just another cash grab. In this show, we're only covering projects that can prove they have all the ingredients. That's how you know you're cooking up a real opportunity rather than a dream being sold to the next round of exit liquidity. Before we dive in to where you can actually get real exposure, let's pull back the curtain on how the top players win. Andrew Kang, founder of Mechanism Capital, one of the sharpest VCs in crypto, spotted the robotics wave early. He dropped $19 million into Figure AI, betting it would be the next big thing. 12 months later, his conviction paid off. Figure AI is raising at a $39.5 billion valuation. That's a 15x move on a single early stage bet. Kang called it the only 0 to decatrillion opportunity since early Bitcoin. Even Elon Musk doubled down. Yeah, it's super obvious. So what if for the first time, you could sit at the same table, getting exposure to the exact same deals that built fortunes for Kang and the insiders? That's the door finally opening. I'm about to show you the key to what I believe is the flagship opportunity for everyday investors who want real exposure to the robotics revolution. Let's talk about Xmaquina. And just so you know, this isn't some random opportunity I found scrolling through my feed. I'm personally invested here. My entire mission from the beginning has been to open up early stage access for regular investors. That's why I built Paid Network. That's why I co-founded Commonwealth, to give retail, you guys, a real shot at the same deals that used to be reserved for insiders and VCs. This robotics play is exactly the kind of deal I used to only see behind closed doors. Now it's wide open. Xmaquina is a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization that takes all the exclusivity and insider privilege of venture investing and opens it up on chain. Their mission is to give anyone, anywhere, a shot at direct, diversified ownership in the best private robotics companies on the planet before they go public. Here's how it works. Xmaquina's token Deuce is essentially a liquid index for physical AI. When you hold Deuce, you're getting exposure to a hand-picked, ever-evolving portfolio of physical AI leaders like Figure AI, Aptronic, Unitree, Engine AI, and more. But unlike traditional VC funds, all the decisions, what to invest in, how much, when to sell, are handled transparently on-chain with a community and an elite lineup of institutional-grade talent steering the ship. So what does this mean for you? It means you no longer have to wait for a late-stage IPO or a watered-down ETF. You get diversified, liquid exposure before the masses. Every investment the DAO makes, every dollar spent, every exit is fully visible and governed by the token holders. Let's talk about Proof. The DAO's first major move was to secure preferred equity in Aptronic, a company at the forefront of US humanoid robotics. Aptronic just raised $403 million Series A, backed by Google DeepMind, Mercedes-Benz, ARK Invest, Andrew Kang, and more. Their flagship robot, Apollo, is already live in BMW factories, and the company is racing to deploy these systems across industries from logistics to healthcare. For the first time, a decentralized community holds real equity in the next wave of robot unicorns. Xmaquina's structure means regular investors get a crack at the upside that, until now, has been locked up for VCs and multi-million-dollar funds. It's all transparent, all on-chain, every proposal, every vote, every allocation tracked and auditable. But I want to be clear that this is still early. There's risks. Hardware is hard. Competition is fierce. And the market is still finding its legs. But that's where asymmetric upside comes from. You want exposure before the mainstream, and this is it. If you want in, pay attention. Xmaquina's next Genesis auction for their Deuce token is June 24th at 12 UTC, launching on Base. There's no whitelist. Access is open, instant, and fully on-chain, available immediately to everybody. The previous auctions, they sold out. So if you're serious about exposure, don't wait until it's too late. Let's talk about what it looks like when DEPIN meets robotics in real time. FRODOBOTS is the world's first decentralized robot fleet that anyone can join, govern, or earn from. And the brain powering all those little robots is this little guy, Sam, the small autonomous mother effer, who's both the on-chain AI agent and the project's viral face. So if you've seen Sam cruising around or posting on X, you're probably watching a FRODOBOT in action. Think of Sam as both the mascot and the intelligence running these robots. What started off as a viral meme now operates real robots in more than 30 cities around the world, collecting data, learning, and even running live challenges and competitions. The impact is real. Researchers at Google DeepMind and UC Berkeley are already using Sam's crowdsourced dataset to build and test next-gen navigation models. That's something most crypto tokens can only dream of. Right now, Sam's token, SAM, has over 93,000 holders and is fully on-chain, with tokenomics built to reward operators and data contributors, proving clear real-world utility. On top of that, BITROBOT and Robots.fun are turning the whole experience into a game. Anyone can control a robot, participate in challenges, train data for AI, and earn tokens. Every task, from stacking blocks to navigating busy sidewalks, becomes part of a real data set used by labs around the world. This is where crypto, play, and AI research merge. While it sounds promising, the token still looks risky. Top wallets control more than 41% of SAM, and the holder count is likely boosted by some insider or automated distribution. But if you're looking for a project with actual hardware, users, and real research impact, FRODOBOTS is years ahead of anything that you'll see on crypto Twitter. Now, let's zoom out and talk about the data. If robots are the body and brain of the new economy, then real-world data is the lifeblood. This next one, NATIX network, is building the world's largest decentralized camera-based data network, live at scale and open to anyone, with more than 255,000 drivers and over 181 million kilometers mapped across 171 countries. NATIX is the backbone for tomorrow's maps, autonomous vehicles, and city infrastructure. What sets NATIX apart is accessibility. You don't need to buy expensive hardware. You just mount your phone and start driving. With their app, anyone can collect street-level data, earn NATIX tokens, and contribute to the largest open map in the world. For Tesla drivers, the VX360 device plugs right into your car and streams 360-degree imagery, giving the network a whole new dimension of perspective and accuracy. NATIX's network feeds into BitTensor, the world's leading decentralized AI protocol. Every image and video goes through AI models to detect roadwork, update maps, and train physical AI agents. Real customers are paying for this data today. Grab, Southeast Asia's super app, and SoftBank's portfolio company is actively using the platform, building better maps for the US and Europe than Google and in some regions. Compared to HiveMapper, which is another top protocol, NATIX doesn't require dedicated hardware, uses 99% less data, and has the scalability to go truly global. Tokenomics are designed for protocol revenue, buybacks, burns, and governance, with utility for both contributors and stakers. So if you guys want to try it out, you just go and download the NATIX Drive app, mount your phone, or participate as a validator or miner in the Street Vision subnet on BitTensor. The door is wide open. And here's the thing. What we've covered today is just the tip of the iceberg. Over the next year, you're going to see an explosion of new DAOs, token-powered robot fleets, decentralized data protocols, and even more global partners jumping in. The best projects will keep evolving, onboarding real users, and striking deals with industry leaders. As all of this grows, public access will come, maybe even faster than people expect. But then, the asymmetric opportunity will be a lot harder to find. You got to be early. The window for true early exposure is opening right now for anyone willing to look a little deeper, do the work, and position ahead of the crowd. Because as this market matures, the first mover advantage will disappear. So here's the big picture. For the first time since early Bitcoin, everyday investors can finally grab real exposure to what could be the biggest industry of the coming decade. The key is to find the real opportunities before they become mainstream. This is your moment to be early. And if you want to stay up to date with every new breakthrough on the opportunity in physical AI, robotics, and crypto, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel if you're not already. If you are, pat yourself on the back. And hit that notification bell, guys, just so you don't miss any of the episodes. And if you guys got a lot of value from this, make sure you do me a favor, destroy that like button. And I'll be covering the biggest projects and the smartest plays and giving you the playbook to stay ahead of the crowd in this space as it evolves. Guys, drop me a comment and let me know if you want me to deep dive on any projects. If you like any other robotics companies, any DePi companies, let me know. And if you guys also want to check out the first part 1 of the DePi video that I made, check out this video as well. And as always, guys, stay sharp, stack your Satoshis, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.